What is up, everybody? Back with another top 10 list, and this time it's going to be my 10 favorite albums from 1986. Amazing year. A ton of awesome albums were released. I'm working on this list. Had about like 30 or so albums I've been trying to narrow down for a while now. Finally got them ready to go. Going to be some great albums that didn't quite make it. Doesn't mean I don't like them. We'll give some honorable mentions at the end or after I say my number 2 as usual. Here we go. Starting off my list at number 10 is the self-titled debut from Crimson Glory. Really good band. They released 4 albums total, but I think this one is definitely their best. 8 songs on it. You know, the style of it is kind of classic heavy metal with elements of progressive metal and U.S. power metal. Really awesome stuff, kind of similar to Queensryche. If you're a fan of them, definitely check this out. Great guitar playing from John Drenning and Ben Jackson, but the standout of the album for sure is Midnight on vocals. Amazing singer, can hang with the best of them. He's kind of like a Jeff Tate, Michael Kiske type style. Amazing range from this guy. He unfortunately passed away, but fantastic vocalist. Looking at the track listing here, 8 songs. Some favorites I would say are Valhalla for sure. That's my favorite on the album. Mayday's great, Queen of the Masquerade, and probably Angels of War are my favorites. But awesome album, Crimson Glory, number 10. Next up at number 9 is Street Lethal by Racer X, the band's debut album. Great classic speed metal here. You got Paul Gilbert on guitar, who is an amazing player, one of the all-time greats. A ton of like fast, blistering guitar solos on here. His tone is amazing. It's really just mesmerizing to hear him play. It's crazy to think, too, he was only 19 years old when this album came out. I'm 23, so he was 4 years younger than me when this came out, which is crazy to think about. But looking at these songs, there's 11 of them here. Some of the standout tracks I would say are the title track for sure. That's my favorite on the album. And some other great ones. You got Loud and Clear. On the Loose is awesome. Rocket, the final song. YRO, which stands for Yngwie Ripoff, because it sounds kind of similar to Yngwie Malmsteen type of stuff. But really, really awesome album here. Street Lethal, number 9. Coming in at number 8 is Dancing Undercover by Ratt. Great band. I'm a huge fan of theirs. They have a lot of really good stuff. This one here, one of my favorites by them. Yes, it's glam metal, but glam is pretty much just traditional metal, but slightly sleazier, slightly more poppy depending on who it is. Ratt, definitely on the heavier side of the glam metal bands. Fantastic guitar work from Robin Crosby and Warren D. Martini. Great solos and riffs all over the album. Fantastic tone. You got Stephen Pearcy on vocals, kind of that raspy style voice, but I think it fits the music very well. He does a really good job. Juan Crocier, however you pronounce his last name, not exactly sure, on bass. Good player. And Bobby Blotzer on the drums. Looking at this track listing, my favorite song on it for sure is Body Talk. Amazing fast-paced song, great riff. And probably One Good Lover as my other favorite on here. Fantastic, underrated song, but Dance is really good. Looking at the rest of this stuff, Slip of the Lip is one of their more popular songs. Looking for Love's pretty cool. 7th Avenue, It Doesn't Matter, Take a Chance. So a lot of really good stuff here. Dancing Undercover, number 8. Next up at number 7 is Ruler of the Wasteland by Chastain. Really awesome, underrated band. They've got a lot of really good stuff. The guitar playing is amazing from David T. Chastain. Really one of the best and most underappreciated guitar players in all of metal. Vocals really good as well from Leather Leone. Really great, powerful voice from her. My favorite female singer of all time. Looking at this track listing, a lot of really good stuff. But my 3 favorite songs on here I'd probably say are the title track, Living in a Dream World, and Children of Eden, the final track. But top to bottom, really good stuff here. Ruler of the Wasteland, number 7. Coming in at number 6 is the self-titled debut from Hawk. Really awesome, underrated stuff here. Matt Sorum does the drumming. He's the most well-known guy in the band. He later went on to be in Guns N' Roses. Doug Marks on guitar has amazing tone. It's pretty majestic, honestly. And a guy named David Feffelt on vocals. Really good voice, kind of like a blend between Lizzie Borden and Ronnie James Dio to give you an idea of what he sounds like. But looking at the track listing, a lot of awesome stuff here, top to bottom. But my favorite song, probably Tell the Truth. Fade So Fast, another really good one. Into the Sky, Battle Zone, Victims, all really, really good songs. Great band, great album. Hawk, number 6. Coming in at number 5 is Inside the Electric Circus by W.A.S.P. Amazing album from an amazing band, one of my all-time favorites. Blackie Lawless on vocals is one of the best singers in all of metal. Really unique voice, great songwriter. He's a great musician because on this album he switched to rhythm guitar. He played bass on the first few, switched to rhythm guitar on this one. They hired a guy named Johnny Rod to be the bass player at this point. You got Chris Holmes on guitar, who has a really awesome tone, really good guitar player, and Steve Riley on the drums here. Looking at the track listing, a lot of good stuff. Electric Gypsy, easily my favorite song on it, one of their absolute best songs of all time. The vocals, the chorus is just amazing. The guitar solo is great as well. Probably the title track and I'm Alive, my other two favorites on here, but Mantronic's great, 95 Nasty, I Don't Need No Doctor is really good. Final song on here, The Rock Rolls On, really good underrated one from them. So overall, just a fantastic album. Inside the Electric Circus, number 5. Next up at number 4 is The Ultimate Sin by Ozzy Osbourne. Great stuff. This one is my favorite solo album of his. Just love the overall tone and feel of the album. Pretty dark stuff here. You got Jakey Lee on guitar, who's an absolute monster. Shreds it up all over the album. Phil Sussin on bass, Randy Castillo on drums, and of course Ozzy on vocals. Sounds great as usual. Looking at the track listing, very strong from start to finish in my opinion, but my favorites I would say are Never, Shot in the Dark, and the title track. But Killer of Giants is great. Thank God for the Bomb. What else we got here? Secret Loser's a really good underrated one. Lightning Strikes. Don't know if I already said that, but all really, really good songs. As I said, Jakey Lee is a freaking beast. So The Ultimate Sin, number 4. Coming in at number 3 is Fatal Portrait by King Diamond, the debut album from the band here. The band was made up of 3/5 members from Merciful Fate. You had King Diamond, obviously, on vocals, Michael Denner on guitar, and Timmy Hansen on bass, joined by Mickey D on the drums and Andy LaRocque on guitar as well. Amazing lineup, amazing album, the most evil-sounding one on the list for sure. Looking at these songs, The Candle, The Jonah, The Portrait, all really good. Karen, my favorite on the album, probably. Halloween is awesome. Haunted, a really great one, you know, so fantastic stuff here. King Diamond on the vocals has amazing range, one of the best voices in metal. So overall, really, really good album here. Fatal Portrait, number 3. Coming in at number 2 is Somewhere in Time by Iron Maiden. Fantastic album, definitely my favorite from them, and one of my favorite albums of all time. Was their first to use synthesizers, which some fans didn't really like, but I think it gave it a really unique and awesome sound. The performances from everybody in the band, of course, are great as usual. Adrian Smith and Dave Murray on guitar, one of the best duos of all time. Bruce Dickinson on vocals, really great singer, one of my all-time favorites as well. Steve Harris on the bass is great, and of course Nico McBrain on drums, great as usual too. So looking at this track listing, love most of these songs, but my 3 favorites I would say are Caught Somewhere in Time, Deja Vu, and Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner. So yeah, great album here. Somewhere in Time, my number 2 of 86, and I will run through some honorable mentions. There's a lot of them, so I'm going to try to go quick here. Gonna get past the two obvious ones first. Yes, Master of Puppets and Rain in Blood, both really good albums. Just think they're not quite top 10 for me, which this is my top 10 favorites, my list, my opinion here, so not quite in my top 10, but they are good albums. Pain and Pleasure by Alien Force is a really good underrated album from an underrated band from Denmark. Definitely recommend to check out their first two albums. World Gone Mad and Praise the Loud by CJSS, which is the side band of guitar player David T. Chastain from the band Chastain. So he had 3 albums come out in 1986. Really busy guy at that point. Looking at the rest of this, Night Songs by Cinderella, The Son of Odin by Elixir, Lightning Strikes by Loudness, Queen of Siam by Holy Moses, Burning Ambition by Chariot, Tightrope by Anthem, Seventh Star by Black Sabbath, Doomsday for the Deceiver by Flotsam and Jetsam, The Dark by Metal Church, Epicus Doomicus Metallicus by Candlemass, To Hell with the Devil by Stryper, Don't Cry Wolf by London, Turbo by Judas Priest, War Games by Gravedigger, Commander of Fate by Black Fate, Vinnie Vincent Invasion self-titled, Eternal Devastation by Destruction, Orgasmatron by Motorhead, Trilogy by Yngwie Malmsteen, Pleasure to Kill by Creator. So just so many great albums. True as Steel by Warlock. Very tough to do a list, especially for 1986, because there's just a ton of great albums to choose from. But on to my number one. And of course, taking the number one spot is Peace Sells But Who's Buying by Megadeth. If you've been following the channel for a while now, you knew this was going to be number one before you even clicked on the video. If you're new here, Megadeth is my number one a lot of the time. This album, though, very well deserving of the number one spot. The musicianship is top tier. The lineup, fantastic. You got Dave Mustaine on vocals and guitar, Chris Poland on guitar alongside of him, Gar Samuelson on the drums, and David Ellefson on bass. So great musicianship all the way around there. The track listing, a lot of great songs. My favorite being Good Morning Black Friday for sure. My second favorite Megadeth song of all time behind Holy Wars. And my other two favorites on here, probably My Last Words, which is the final track on the album. One of Dave Mustaine's best guitar solos of all time is at the end of that song. And probably Devil's Island, my other favorite on here. But Wake Up Dead, The Conjuring, the title track. Bad Omen's an awesome one. So top to bottom, this album is elite. It's a top 5 metal album of all time, and my favorite album from 1986, Peace Sells But Who's Buying by Megadeth. So that does wrap up my ranking, top 10 albums of 1986. As usual, you guys can let me know what you thought. Give me your ranking in the comments, and until next time, thank you for watching.